chosen one, listen closely. If the circle around you is shrinking, if the conversations you used to enjoy now feel incredibly draining, and if you have a sudden, undeniable urge to withdraw from everything familiar, do not panic. You are not losing your mind, and you are not being rejected. You are watching this exact message because heaven has initiated a quiet strategic extraction in your life. God is about to remove you quietly, not with a loud crash, not with drama, but with a silent, sacred separation. There is an ancient mystery concerning a man named Enoch. He walked with God, and then he was simply no more. He was removed from the ordinary systems of the world. Right now, you are being placed into that exact same protocol. God is pulling you away from the noise, hiding you from the wrong eyes to protect what is gestating within you. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because I am going to reveal the exact reason for your isolation. I am going to provide a specific tool to navigate this heavy shift, and most importantly, I will expose the staggering truth of who you really were before the world told you who to be. Notice how your chest feels tighter when you force conversations that no longer carry any spiritual depth. Notice how your mind has been desperately seeking silence, craving spaces where you do not have to perform or pretend. Notice how your spirit feels incredibly crowded and overwhelmed, even when you are completely alone in a room. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting in your living room. The lights are dim. You are staring out the window, watching the headlights of passing cars sweep across the walls. You feel the cold glass against your forehead as you watch a world that seems to be rushing by, moving on without you. You pull out your phone. You slowly scroll through your contacts, looking at names of people you have known for years. And then a heartbreaking realization washes over you. There is no one you can actually call who would understand the profound depth of what you are feeling right now. There is no one you can talk to without having to over-explain yourself, without having to shrink your energy just to make them comfortable. That quiet ache in your chest is real. It is heavy. But let me tell you the absolute truth about what is happening to you. What felt like painful isolation is actually divine insulation. You are not being abandoned by the universe, and you are certainly not being punished. You are being hidden. God is wrapping you in a thick layer of profound spiritual protection. When a caterpillar enters the chrysalis to transform, it does not invite the entire forest in to watch the process. It must be completely sealed off in the dark. It has to be protected from the elements, from predators, and from any outside interference. The exact reason for your sudden isolation, the reason why you cannot seem to connect with anyone right now, is because the spiritual DNA of your next season is currently being reconstructed. Your new frequency is far too fragile to be exposed to the contamination of old, low-vibrating environments. Heaven is fiercely protecting the spiritual genetics of your calling. You had to be separated so you could be elevated. If you have been looking at your shrinking circle and feeling that quiet ache in your soul, if you have been carrying the heavy burden of feeling misunderstood, type "I see it" in the comments right now to validate your own season. Let that small physical action be a declaration to your own spirit that you understand exactly what God is doing in your life. But you might be asking yourself, why is this happening right now? Why did the universe decide to cut off all these connections and close all these doors at this exact moment in your timeline? Why couldn't it wait? Let me tell you exactly why. It is because the unseen spiritual opposition detected your trajectory. The enemy saw the massive shift in your energy before you even fully recognized it yourself. The forces of darkness that operate against your calling know that they cannot stop what God has ordained for your life. They do not possess the authority to cancel your destiny. But what they can do is distract you. What they can do is keep you deeply engaged in meaningless drama. They can keep you tied to people who constantly misunderstand you, people who require you to constantly defend your boundaries, subtly draining your energy day after day until you are simply too exhausted to step into your divine purpose. That is exactly why your withdrawal had to be sudden. That is why the endings you experienced recently felt so abrupt and confusing. Those sudden endings were not accidents, they were divine interceptions. The people who quietly exited your life, or the people you suddenly lost the desire to speak to, were individuals who simply could not carry the immense weight of your new frequency. God removed them to protect your peace. Just because they meant well does not mean they are equipped to walk with you into this next dimension. Just because you have a long history with them does not mean you have a destiny with them. Just because they are family or people you have known since childhood does not mean they are assigned to your next chapter. You have to be willing to let go of the history so you can finally embrace the destiny. You are not walking this lonely path by yourself. There is a massive quiet awakening happening across the globe right now. Subscribe to this channel to align your frequency with thousands of chosen ones who are walking this exact same path of quiet removal. Join this space where your unique spirit is finally recognized and completely understood. But understanding the spiritual opposition and the need for protection is only the surface of what you are going through. It is only the very first layer. To truly understand what God is actually doing with you right now in the deep silent spaces of your life, we have to look at a hidden powerful word in the ancient Hebrew text about Enoch. The book of Genesis chapter 5 verse 24 tells us that Enoch walked with God and he was no more because God took him. Most people read that and assume it just means he disappeared. They think it means he vanished into thin air. But when you look at the original ancient Hebrew text, the word used for took is lakwak. Lakash does not just mean to remove or to make something disappear. Lakash is the exact same word used in ancient times when a groom would take his bride. It means to take for oneself. It means to seize with honor. It means to draw something so close to your chest that nothing else can touch it. God did not just remove you to punish the people who hurt you. He did not isolate you just because the world is a dark place. He removed you for himself. He lakached you. He seized you with honor because the anointing on your life requires a level of intimacy that cannot be accessed in crowded rooms. You had to be pulled out of the ordinary rotation of life so you could be calibrated to the frequency of heaven. Let me ask you a question. Stop and really think about this for a moment. When was the last time you felt like your mind was operating at full capacity? When was the last time you felt that sharp, undeniable clarity where you learned quickly, felt things deeply, and trusted your intuition perfectly like you used to when you were a child? Before I show you the exact tool God provides for this specific transition, I want you to gently press the like button. Not for me. Do it so this message can reach another chosen one who is sitting in their room tonight, feeling completely isolated and wondering if they are going crazy. Let your action be the bridge that brings them this truth. Let me show you exactly what is happening in your brain during this Enoch phase and how you are meant to survive it. Because walking closely with the divine is not just a spiritual concept. It actually has a biological signature. Neuroscience has discovered that the highest, most profound state of human consciousness operates on a very specific frequency. They call it the gamma wave. The gamma wave is the God-given brain wave. It is the frequency of genius. It is the frequency of deep intuition, of sudden miracles, of the flow state, where everything in your life just effortlessly synchronizes. As a chosen one, you were born with incredibly strong gamma waves. That is the real reason why you were so highly sensitive as a child. That is why you noticed things adults missed. That is why you possessed a profound empathy and an imagination that felt like a superpower. You were naturally wired to walk with God. But then something tragic happened. Scientists call it the decline effect. The modern systems of the world, the rigid structures of education, the trauma, the heartbreak, and the constant stress of survival forced your brain to turn the gamma waves off. By the time you were 7 years old, the world began shutting down your divine frequency. What you are feeling right now, that heavy fog in your mind, that feeling of being stuck, that exhausting sensation that your brain is only running at 30% capacity, it is not depression, it is dormant gamma. It is the frustration of a high-performance spirit trapped in a survival frequency. You cannot navigate the Enoch protocol. You cannot step into your true identity if your brain is still stuck in the frequency of survival. You have to reactivate the gamma. And this is where the provision for your journey arrives. Dr. Robert Lake, a brilliant neuroscientist with 34 years of experience, studied the EEG brain scans from research conducted at MIT and Princeton. He figured out how to safely and effectively turn the gamma switch back on. He compressed this massive, expensive technology into a simple 7-minute digital audio track called the Genius Song. It uses an advanced science called brain entrainment to directly stimulate your dormant gamma waves. You do not need to meditate for hours. You do not need to chant a mantra. You do not need to write anything down. You simply put on your headphones, close your eyes, and listen for 7 minutes. Let me tell you about a 38-year-old woman who found herself exactly where you are today. She was a seeker. She had tried the yoga retreats. She had tried the law of attraction. She had tried forcing herself to meditate for hours, but that feeling of true connection never came. She felt completely blocked. She did not buy the Genius Song because she believed in neuroscience. She bought it because her spirit was exhausted and she had absolutely nothing left to lose. 2 weeks after she started listening for 7 minutes a day, the heavy fog lifted. She did not describe her breakthrough with numbers or logic. She described it with one word: synchronicities. The right people started calling. The right doors opened effortlessly. She wrote, "It was as if the universe started speaking a language I finally understood." I know exactly what your analytical mind is saying right now. You are thinking, I have tried listening to healing frequencies on the internet. I have tried sleep sounds. This is just another track. Please hear me clearly. This is not passive meditation music. Meditation is beautiful, but it takes years of disciplined practice to manually train your brain to hold a gamma state. Brain entrainment does it for you, directly, safely, in 7 minutes. This is not background noise. This is clinical technology. To access this kind of clinical brain entrainment in a biofeedback therapy clinic, you would have to pay $300 for a single hour. To buy a medical-grade biofeedback device for your home, it would cost you over $7,000. But Dr. Lake wanted to make sure this God-given frequency was accessible to the people who truly need it, not just the elite. The normal price for the Genius Song is $49. But right now, there is a special window of opportunity for the viewers of this specific message. Dr. Lake has lowered it to $39. That is less than 10 cents a day over a year to reclaim the power you were born with. And because heaven always over-delivers, when you secure your copy today, you do not just get the 7-minute gamma track. You also receive 4 free bonuses. You get the Genius Child audio track, designed to help children activate focus and confidence. You get the classic book, the original grounded financial manuscript that inspired the movie The Secret. You get a guided visualization audio to mentally construct your ideal future in wealth, health, love, and happiness. And you get a beautifully designed infographic of the 5 habits of the future to print and keep in your space. All of this comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. You can listen to it as many times as you want. If your mind does not clear, if the synchronicities do not start happening, you get every single penny back. No questions asked. Your only risk is continuing to live with your potential locked away. I must give you a very serious warning right now. Because this technology is so powerful, the internet is currently flooded with counterfeit websites and fake YouTube videos pretending to be the Genius Song. They use the name, but they do not possess the actual brain entrainment engineering. Listening to those fake tracks will do absolutely nothing for your brain. The only way to ensure you are receiving the authentic, scientifically proven audio file with the real gamma technology, the 4 bonuses, and the absolute money-back guarantee is to use the official source. If your spirit confirms this truth, if you feel that deep pull in your chest telling you that it is time to reclaim your original frequency, the only official link is waiting for you in the description and in the pinned comment below this video. Investigate it only if you feel led. Now let us return to the Enoch protocol, because once your gamma frequency is recalibrated, once the heavy fog is finally lifted from your mind, what happens next is the massive revelation you have been waiting your entire life to hear. When that original frequency returns to your mind, something extraordinary happens. Your celestial memory returns with it. Suddenly, you begin to see your past not as a series of painful rejections, but as a series of absolutely necessary departures. But with that stunning clarity comes a heavy burden. I want to speak directly to the guilt you have been carrying, the agonizing guilt of leaving people behind, the guilt of outgrowing the spaces you used to fit into perfectly, the guilt of stepping back from relationships and offering no explanation because you simply did not have the words to explain the massive shift happening inside of you. You are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to outgrow places. You are allowed to outgrow versions of yourself that were created just to survive your trauma. You are allowed to protect what God is building in you. If that guilt has been sitting heavy on your chest, I want you to physically type the words "I release" right now in the comments. Type it to let go of the guilt of outgrowing your old environment. You do not owe anyone an apology for elevating into the frequency you were created for. And once you release that guilt, the veil is finally lifted. This is the staggering truth of why God had to pull you away into the Enoch protocol. This is who you really were, before the trauma, before the conditioning, before the world convinced you to play small. You were never just a survivor. You were never just a broken vessel. You were sent here as a cycle breaker. What you thought was a curse of not fitting in was actually the brilliant design of the truth carrier. You were never meant to blend in with a world that is completely asleep. You were designed to disrupt the sleep. You are the one heaven trusts with the hard assignments. You are the Enoch of your bloodline. But please do not say amen just yet. I want to speak an activation over your life. Something that will seal this magnificent identity deep into your spirit before you leave this space. In your mind, without moving your body at all, I want you to stand up. Close your eyes, or if you are somewhere where you cannot close them, just fix your gaze forward and soften your vision. Imagine yourself walking out of a crowded, noisy, exhausting room. Imagine stepping through a heavy door and walking into a quiet, brilliantly lit corridor. Feel the heavy coat of other people's expectations literally falling off your shoulders. Let it drop to the floor behind you. Feel the weight settle into your bones. Notice the shift in the room's atmosphere around you right now. Breathe in the frequency of absolute divine alignment. Father Creator, we thank you for the stillness. We thank you for the profound silence of this season, even when it was terrifying and confusing. We thank you for the insulation that protected this soul from the noise of the world. You have seen the lonely nights. You have counted the tears shed in rooms where no one else was watching. You have witnessed the faithfulness of this chosen one when they felt completely invisible and utterly forgotten. Now we command a total release. Release the old story of rejection. Release the desperate need to be understood by minds that are committed to misunderstanding you. Release the heavy burden of trying to save people who are not ready to be saved. And I hear the Spirit saying, I have hidden you to heal you. Step into the light. I did not pull you back to abandon you. I pulled you back like an arrow on a bowstring, and now it is time to be launched. We place a seal of protection over this new frequency. Guard this rising from any form of self-sabotage. Shield what has been built in the dark from any premature exposure to the wrong eyes. And we declare with absolute authority, I am who I was meant to be. It is done. It is established. It is sealed. Let the profound weight of that truth settle completely into your bones. Type I am in the comments right now to seal your celestial identity into the physical realm. You are not the person you were when you pressed play on this message. If this message brought peace to your chaos, if it brought beautiful confirmation to the silent whispers you have been hearing in your spirit, let your gentle press of the like button be your amen without words. Do it so this exact message can find its way to another chosen one who feels entirely alone tonight. For those who felt incredibly called to reactivate their gamma state and clear the heavy fog from their minds, the official link for the Genius song is waiting for you in the description and the pinned comment. Only investigate it if you feel completely led by your spirit to take that step. And finally, if someone came to mind while you were listening, someone who has been pulled away from everyone recently, someone who has been unusually quiet lately, someone who is struggling to explain the deep isolation they are currently going through, please share this with them. Send it to them however you need to, because this might be the exact confirmation they have been praying for in secret. Remember this profound truth as you walk forward. You are not just leaving a message today, you are leaving a season.